Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. We have got some interesting market conditions, mainly due to the way that price reacted yesterday right after market close. So you guys obviously remember we were trying to get short yesterday, late PM session, and we had a good setup here initially when buy side was taken, tapping into the 1 hour fair value gap. We took that out, which ultimately this is the 5-minute time frame, but we tried getting in here as price came back to this area. We had a little bit of hope at first, and then we ran out the lunchtime highs, so we replayed the setup again, went break even here, and then price came back, got us out of break even, which is great because it ended up putting in a new high anyway, and then it absolutely just, I mean, I don't even know. I haven't seen this in a while where it gaps that big or that much right at when the market reopens up after the spread hour. So yeah, very interesting. I was telling you guys yesterday in PM session that I felt like these 1 hour and 4 hour lows was really enticing in terms of the next slightly higher time frame draw on liquidity. Looks like we are working towards that right now. I don't know if we'll necessarily just go right to there today, like at least not an AM session. I still think we're headed here this week. So what we need to do is I guess analyze where we are at. One thing I want to note out quickly while I'm on this time frame is on the 1 hour, we have some SMT forming, bullish SMT forming with NQ and ES. So I'm just going to note that for now. Lower lows here on ES with higher lows currently on NQ. I'm not going to mark it up because this obviously has some room to go here until we get to this sell side level. So I'm just going to point it out for right now and leave it like that. However, as we continue to scale in here, so let's drop down to the 5-minute quickly. And then, yeah, I was going to say we have SMT that has formed now between NQ and ES as well on the smaller time frames here. So we've got SMT here on the 5-minute on NQ. Let's go back to ES, and then you guys can see obviously here we've got the higher low forming here. So we've kind of got two time frames worth of SMT going on right now with ES and NQ. NQ did take this sell side level here, and now at this point, if we got a nice displacement to the upside, I would be game to play longs. Even though I am expecting us to go run out those 1 hour and 4 hour lows at some point, the way that I'm viewing this price action here, so this has created a low resistance liquidity run. What I would not mind seeing would be displacement, give us a fair value gap entry, and then we'll run it up to these highs. I believe there's a fair value gap here on a slightly higher time frame. Yeah, we got on the 15-minute all kinds of inefficiencies up here. So I would like to run out these highs before going lower. Kind of a bonus would be if we took out this high and kind of filled in this gap from yesterday a little bit more, but I don't really think that needs to happen. I think that would definitely be just kind of a plus. So that's what I am looking at right now. We'll see if this SMT holds. That's the only thing giving me our confirmation we could head up and take out some internal levels of buy side liquidity before eventually continuing lower, to all those levels of sell side liquidity on the higher time frames. But good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. SMT off the bat, bullish. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, everybody's hopping on the call now. I just got done going over everything that I was seeing, and now everybody hops on. Guess they missed out. No, I'm kidding. We got time. We are below New York midnight, obviously. That was literally right smack dab in the middle of that huge opening range gap overnight. I'll go to regular trading hours so you guys can see that. Pretty big opening range gap. This one's not regular trading hours. There we go. To cover. So that's also part of the reason I think short term today for AM session, as long as this SMT holds up on both those time frames, I'd like to position ourselves to fill in most of this gap, at least 50% of it, and then yeah, I would expect continuation down to the weekly imbalance on ES, and then these levels of sell side on NQ ultimately. But yeah, let's drop back down to electronic. Reset everything, and then we should be Should be good to go. So we'll drop down to the 5-minute. I wanna wait for a nice displacement up here, and then we can scale in finally to like the 1 minute and look for an entry. I'm not really interested in working anything right this second. We're about halfway into the macro. So allowing us to wait for that obvious displacement is going to keep us from taking any trades where if this SMT doesn't hold up, and this is more so just kind of an inducement to then us, you know, a deeper sell-off to maybe even take out the low again. That'll prevent us from doing anything like that. But yeah, I believe as of right now, as long as we get the confirmations we want to see with displacement up, fair value gap, etc., market structure shift on the 1 minute, then I would anticipate the next draw to be this low resistance liquidity run. Just like so. Tap back off New York midnight again, and then like I said, I would expect lower prices, and then if we got that again, hopefully we could have a setup. Maybe we could play during PM session. You know, not to get greedy or anything, but if the setup is there and our analysis is working out, then we can mark that out and participate if we ever so would like. So here we go. Buy side liquidity, bada bing, bada boom. Let's drop down to the 3. And watch these. I guess we'll have to make a game time decision as far as which one to trade. I don't really, as of this moment, obviously looking at the SMT, my bias in terms of which one we'd like to get long from would probably be ES right now, unless, you know, things could change on a dime, and if you know, price is looking more willing on NQ and we can get a clean entry, we'll rip it there. But yeah, yesterday PM session was a little bit choppy, to say the least, huh? We were 3-0 going into yesterday's PM session, took a loss, and then took a well, break-even trade. It was a 1-to-1 risk reward. I don't know if anybody took any partials. I didn't say to take any partials. I didn't. But it was really quick, and like literally, if you blinked, you missed the candle where it actually dropped down, and then it wicked right back up. Yeah, it was like I just had my hand on the mouse. All of a sudden, it dropped. Moved my stop. By the time I let go of the mouse, it was already back in the range. So yeah, wild price action yesterday, late PM, and then absolutely dumped. But I kind of was. This isn't really like anything blockbuster for you guys, but I am starting to think that on these later PM session trades, you know, if we can't find a setup during PM session that is, you know, like kind of right after lunch with that first macro coming into play, and then we get a nice little setup off of that, I really don't think it's going to pay to look for entries anymore in the middle of those two macros. I think you guys would agree with me. It's like we end up kind of just chopping back and forth all the way up until that final macro comes in, that final hour of the day, and then we actually see price wake up and give a lot cleaner displacement, like you guys can see here. So this is a 3-minute chart. We got a lot of our entries off of the 1 and the 2 yesterday here. The first trade was off of the 3. This one right here. No, I'm sorry. It was right here. This was the first trade yesterday, PM session. So we were using this 3-minute fair value gap after this buy side sweep. That's what we used. Got a little bit of a reaction at first, and then ultimately wasn't enough. But you can see the difference between here. Like, look at this price compared to right here. Much cleaner, right? Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but I think we would have been a lot better off. Again, hindsight 20/20. Waiting for that final macro, and this has been playing out a lot over the last couple weeks. PM sessions, like if we don't catch the trade early in the session for PM, you're better off waiting. But so here would have been a decent opportunity afterward. I was off the charts at this point. Price comes up, market structure shifts strong with displacement, very clean, comes all the way back up, fills the gap in completely, and then ends up selling off the rest of the day. You would have been out Probably would have had to close by 3 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. just to be safe. But I think you have until 3:10 my time and 4:10 like last call to close it before, especially if you're on Top Step. I think you have to have your positions closed. Otherwise, you'll fail your combine. So that's going to be my plan going forward. Just a heads up. So if we're ever looking at charts at PM session in the Discord and let's say a good setup does present itself and it's kind of just like in that middle ground time, I'm just probably going to opt to just sit out and maybe tape read it. Again, kind of no point if we're seeing that play out a little bit more consistently now. We might as well adapt and trade that way. Let's look and see what time this was at. 2:30 my time, so that's 3:30. Yeah, so that was right smack dab in the middle of that macro. The pullback came. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit here, guys. Pullback came and would have been entered in on the 2:48 Central candle or 3:48 Eastern. So yeah, would not have had a whole lot of time left in the day, but again, I felt like this area was going to yield some sort of a move, but timing was just off. All good, all good. But yeah, just a little PSA on that. All right, yeah, so good thing we did not fire away anything at the... Oops. Good thing we did not fire away anything at this fair value gap here. As you guys can see, that's why I wanted to wait for a little bit stronger displacement. You know, it's I know it can seem finicky, but with time you'll definitely get this. Like, I feel like, you know, it definitely makes sense. I could see why somebody would have taken this trade right here. Now that we're in silver bullet hour, obviously, as well, you know, you see this SMT form, and then you got this nice fair value gap that looks like it's holding, right? I could see why somebody would have fired away here. But they just got their stops ran out. Not really any, like, not really any clear market structure shifts. You could maybe make an argument for this one right here, but again, I wouldn't have liked it because of the way that this candle reacted afterward. Right here. If it would have at least like closed strong, like right here, maybe that would make a lot more sense to me, but this kind of tells me, you know, this is a bullish candle initially when it opened and it was right here, and then all of a sudden it closed all the way back down here. So that's, to me, that's looking like it's displacing right back in. So I wouldn't like to classify that as a market structure shift, but if you're really being accurate about it, I would probably say you're better off using this as your market structure shift. The actual swing high of this leg. So that would have been one confirmation maybe that you wouldn't have had for this setup here. That would have prevented you from taking that entry. There we go. Well, we're dumping, folks. As long as this low gets left intact, we will have SMT here, but we do still have SMT at the 1 hour chart. So don't forget about that. We'll keep that in mind. We'll see how far this leg goes. Might have to revisit that 1 hour and see if that's still there. This level of sell side is kind of that first 1 hour and 4 hour level that I had. I'm not really too concerned about this one. More concerned about this one. We've got even more external levels below here. So like this is, just looking at it like this, this looks like external. It's definitely liquidity, but you've got an entire low resistance liquidity run all through here. I probably should actually mark this one too. Also, by the way, we didn't even look at it yet. The news came out bearish for this non-farm event. We got OPEC meetings tomorrow and unemployment tomorrow. And then NFP. You know, all depending on how today and tomorrow go. Like I said, guys, I really would not mind being sidelined Friday. You know, and if anything, maybe look for a setup early PM session, kind of after the AM session madness, and send something out if there's something there. But yeah, usually the only news day that I'm ever looking to really sit out is NFP. But usually that's on a Friday. It's the end of the week, the first Friday of a month, obviously. So but at the same time, I want us to earn it, right? Thought we'd go into Friday undefeated. Took one loss yesterday and one win in the morning, but the ever elusive undefeated week. We'll get one. We'll get one for sure. Wait, whoa. You did fire away? Oh no. Shot from the hip? That's all good. As long as you manage risk. Like I said, I could understand why somebody would have taken it. You know, you got a couple confirmations. And we were watching it on the 5. And sometimes that's why I think, you know, I've been victim to this too, getting fooled by, you know, if I'm camped out on the 1 minute, 2 minute even, it's almost like sometimes you can kind of get, you know, you're more easily induced into the trades. And then you end up taking a trade, and then you look at the 5, you're just like, oh. Kind of a different story, right? Here you got working back into this fair value gap to just continue lower. And then here you really got one little poke up into here, and that was it. I have this level of sell side just marked for, it already took it out here in London. I just have it marked for SMT visual purposes, because this is this sell side right here is the same sell side as this on NQ. From that 1 hour time frame. But yeah, guys, I mean, if we see a sweep of this low here, I mean, we're just waiting for our setup to form at this point. You know, we're already more bullish than bearish. Where's my thing at? Simply because, let's jump out here. 1 hour, 4 hour. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter what time frame you pick. You know, we've ran out now all of this sell side, this internal sell side liquidity. Like I said, I still do expect that we could work down into this volume, not volume bounce, fair value gap on the weekly. But when we run out all this liquidity, I'm not expecting it just to dump all the way here. I'm expecting it to boom, correct. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting it to react and then fill in higher inefficiencies, higher buy side, internal range, and then continue down. Kind of like this, right? We had this huge run on buy side here. What does it do? Here you're thinking, oh my god, this thing literally is just gonna dump. But nope, comes all the way back, corrects, literally corrects, what, 80% of the move plus? Almost all of that, yeah. So 78, 80%. Lucky guess. So I'm expecting these lows to give us something to go off of. I was quarterback, believe it or not. So I was just really good at running away from people like you. It was more like scared running away than anything else. I was good, I was quick, but I was not big by any means. I like to say I'm 5'10". With the right pair of socks on, I'm probably 5'10". But I guess that's why I didn't get recruited. Nobody wants a midget for a quarterback. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm looking to get long inside this gap. Oh shit! There we go. My stop is gonna go below the low. Create limit order. Limit 2 contracts. Yep. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, great. So yeah, I'm looking to get long here, guys. This is not my target. I just had to get the thing off quickly, like so. If you want to take it on NQ, obviously it's up to you. You can. I would target the same gap personally on the we're on the 3-minute time frame. So just looking at this, we've actually got, you know, this gap is finally in, should be in discount here finally. It is. So the discount level is actually below where our entry is, but we're getting in. We can get in at the beginning of this gap and still be below this low. I don't want to get left behind. So I'm trying to teeter the line between being conservative and being logical with our entries here, so we don't get left behind. Oh my god, I'll be so upset if we got left behind. And then it runs. Put me in. Oh, thank you, God. All right, boom. I grabbed my entry on MetaTrader as well. So pretty good, guys. We're below our 5-handle stop, 4 3/4. I got less than 0.5% risk on these trades. It looks like the NQ fair value gap probably is offered right now as well. But yeah, I'm in on ES. But yeah, I'm working on my trust issues with just the fair value gap candle. I've had my heart broken once or twice with it, so that's why I just started doing this. And I just feel like, again, if I can afford the stop loss and I can just add on an extra point or two, like, is it really worth? Like, is the extra point or two really worth missing the move? Like, that's kind of where my logical brain kicks in. So, safe than sorry kind of a thing. On my back testing, I use the 3-candle formation. It works pretty well. Yeah, that's good as well. This would obviously still work, the 3-candle formation here. And this specific setup. We actually don't have the fair value gap here on the 1 minute. It's only offered on ES. But we do have a 3-minute gap offered on both. A little bit smaller on ES, or on NQ than on ES, which I feel like is why I favored this setup here. But yeah, good trade, guys. We got pretty much everything we wanted. We even got a little market structure shift above here on the 1 minute. So good setup. We swept sell side, a pretty big sell side level, FOMC low. Okay, so we swept the sell side liquidity. We got a market structure shift. We got displacement. We got a fair value gap entry in a discount, which is met right now. Below a 5-handle stop loss. So we're within our risk rules. This is a trade I would take every single time. Not, you know, this is a trade where if we lose, it's like, hey, good game. Nothing to be mad about, in my opinion. If that's the case, but if we get stopped out, I expect this to dump. All right. Damn, stop loss hit. A+ setup failed. Let me screenshot this. That's the struggle for me. It's like I want to find one setup, trust the analysis, take the trade, live with the result. I don't want to hedge it. I don't even want a pyramid entry. I don't want to do that either. I want to just take one solid entry that I'm uber confident in. Speaking of, guys, I'm gonna take one more stab here on NQ before we get left behind. I'm gonna get long inside this gap if I can. Oh god, oh god. Sorry guys, this is quick. I know. I'm gonna try to get the entry right here. Stop is gonna go there. Oh, yo. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to buy right now, guys. All right, I'm in. So this is going to be last trade of the morning for me. But we got everything we needed here. We got even another little sell side sweep right here. Fair value gap, displacement, working up. So, but yeah, if this is wrong, then I think we're probably headed even lower yet. So I'm not going to keep forcing it after here. But yeah, I'm in. We got the setup on NQ this time instead of ES. TP1 right here. I don't like that it probably felt really rushed for you guys. So I apologize about that. But yeah, nice reaction here. Nice reaction. Normally I would say I would have risk off already. But of course, the moment I say that. All right, one more push. Let's go. There we go. All right, guys. I'm risk-free. Fuck this trade. With respect, of course. Oh, my God. What a pain. If we get stopped, though, at this point. Whatever. Yeah, isn't it interesting even thinking back to our first trade, like NQ held that order block so much better. Like it showed a lot more strength than ES did. Now it's like flip the Uno reverse card on us. All right, sick. Oh, that break even, guys. I'm gonna end it there. That was painful. But we'll reassess. We'll see where we're at after lunch, guys. We got New York lunch starting in 20 minutes. And we'll try to catch a move either early PM session with the first macro. If not, we'll most likely be waiting until the end of the day to maybe catch something in PM session. But yeah, one loss, one pretty much for me, just nothing. But yeah, maybe you caught a little winner because you caught ES or something. But yeah, fun fun market this morning. Off to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk with kiddos. All right, man, have fun. Yeah, guys, we'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions and anything, need help today, whatever, feel free to drop it in the Discord or reach out personally. Got your back. Otherwise, have an amazing Wednesday, and we will be back PM session looking at the market. And if there's something to capitalize on, you already know we're going to capitalize on it. So with that, have a great day, everybody. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Peace out.